Like, do we push him to the back or what? Because I don't want his hype to die down.
Now you're telling us the next week that they're scum of the earth, and we need you to think.
Everybody gets a moment. Everybody gets their little shine. Everybody. Hey, Sam Schluter, the straight shooter here. Welcome to... Oh. All right. Somebody told me, but get that sack of shit out of here. This Stone Cold Small Austin. I'm taking over Dirt Sheet Radio for the evening, probably up to WrestleMania. Here's my host. Somebody get that piece of crap out of here already. All right, here's my co-host. Listen, I've seen the videos. I heard all the stories. I'm telling you right now, Dave LaGreca ain't got nothing on Michael. This is the true leader of the Cody movement. And let me get a, oh, hell yeah. Welcome, my co-host, CJ Carter. All right, CJ Carter, you sit tight. We got a good show. You're not the only bald, beautiful son of a bitch around here. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right, we got welcoming back to the show. She's been all she's been all over globe trekking, all over the world. Let me get a, oh, hell yeah, for B-Ray Jones. All right, come on now, B-Ray. Come on, give me some love. That's right, baby. Yeah, oh, hell yeah. And it's a special night tonight. That's right. Stone Cold Small Austin is welcoming a new guest tonight, Matthew Malik Wilson. That's right, baby. Let me get a, oh, hell yeah, baby. That's right. Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to the Dirt Sheet Radio Smackdown Rewind, episode 15, but at 316. We're one day early, never a dollar short. What's going on, people?
Sam, I'm still processing what's happened, so I'm gonna pass things off to Brittany while I
listen here. We're here to talk Smackdown, kick a couple of mud holes in people's theories, and walk them out dry. Don't get jealous because you're not the only beautiful bald son of a bitch up in here tonight. Let's go.
Do you actually shave your head bald for this?
Listen, it's Stone Cold Small Austin's birthday, 3/16, March 16th every year, and this is a ritual. We do 3/16 from here all the way to WrestleMania. If you know, you know. Let's get into it.
I love dedication. I love it.
Fantastic.
B-Ray, where you been? How you been, Shug?
I've been good. Just celebrated a birthday. I've been here, there, everywhere.
And Malik,
I'm happy to be back.
Malik, we're happy to have you on board today. Tell us about yourself real quick before we jump into it.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me. My name is Matthew Malik Wilson. All my friends call me Malik though, so call me either or Matthew or Malik. Co-host of 3T Wrestling. I'm sure y'all have seen it, man. We getting big, man. Coming to Sundays on Dirt Sheet Radio soon. I appreciate y'all having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm a big fan of WWE, especially Smackdown. Smackdown is my main show. Smackdown is a show that I wait to watch every week. So let's get into it, man. Can't wait to chop it up with y'all.
All right,
love main that event, passion, man.
What? Main event time. Bayley versus Dakota Kai. She got a little bit of revenge. Let's get right into it. CJ Carter, what are your thoughts on that match?
Well, first of all, the match itself I thought was great. It was the main event match as it should have been. There wasn't a better match on the card. Spoiler alert, my superstar of the night is gonna be Bayley for this one, but it was a phenomenal match. It was great storytelling. It was exactly what it needed to be. So hats off to Bayley and Dakota Kai for this one coming together. I thought Naomi coming out at the end was a weird twist, but especially considering it didn't affect the overall outcome. I don't know if that's a good use for Naomi at this point.
I thought it just kept the storyline moving along. For me, I didn't expect nothing too much exciting. Anything outside the normal. We are on the road to WrestleMania. But what do you thought, B Ray? What you thought?
I agree with you all. Like you said, it's just continuing the road to WrestleMania. I hope we can get a rematch with Bailey and Dakota, more minutes, more time. But I think what we saw tonight, it definitely served its purpose. Um, they have chemistry. And I just first of all, shout out to Dakota for actually wrestling again, because I just thought that was not
Yep.
gonna happen as far as like her knee injury and all that. So shout out
She
to
did
Dakota
have a
for
knee
that.
brace.
Right, right. So shout out to her for protecting it, but I'm definitely happy to see her actually back in the ring. I do like that they included Naomi, especially with this whole storyline of Naomi pretty much being gone. So she didn't know what was happening, because if you all remember, Naomi wasn't here when damage control became a thing. So coming back, seeing how things change. So Bailey is her friend on and off screen. So she's torn. So I like her progression as far as her storyline, but everything is coming together as far as Bailey hopefully winning the WrestleMania. But I definitely like the main event. As a woman and of course as a wrestling fan, I'm always here for the women's main event.
Yep, Malik, give us
Yeah,
your thoughts.
yeah, I agree with everybody on the panel so far. I thought it was an awesome main event. Great storytelling, great ring awareness by Bailey, by the way. When one of them tried to interfere, Bailey was right on to it. You know what I'm
Uh
saying?
huh.
So I thought that was great storytelling. Plus, that Naomi spot, I know it may seem confusing, but I did hear a rumor of a potential match at WrestleMania, so I wasn't necessarily surprised to see Naomi there. And if this happens, if this is a continuing thing where Bailey's wrestling one of them from Damage Control, since the numbers are too big, I expect Naomi to come out, and then you might see some future superstars every week by week being one more to try to even up the numbers a little bit. I don't want to spoil it for
Or
everybody,
you want
but
to
the
talk
match is
about
going to be
rumors and in your windows? There's videos of AJ Lee out there talking about
And
she's
what
gonna
what do
be the
you what do
one.
you know?
She's gonna be the one to come to Bailey's rescue at WrestleMania. I don't know. I would love to see that. But what I want to
They
talk
end up
about,
going into WrestleMania weekend with a mystery partner, then
yeah, yeah. What I want to get to is everything is fine in that match. I loved it. I loved how I moved the story along. But what is concerning is the last little segment. Asuka limping after she took that little thing. Did anybody else notice that? And I thought,
Hmm.
oh, she's just selling.
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, no, she's not selling. She's powering through. And she just did a good power through movement just to finish that last little segment.
Mhm.
And I was just like, oh, I hope it's just a little tweak or something
Like a
because
sprain or something.
Cause
Yeah.
she rolled her ankle a little bit. That's what it like to me.
I hope it's nothing bad. But we're gonna see what happens by next week. We should know what's going on. But I did put some little question marks there, and you know, is it gonna hurt the story? Brittany, you think it's gonna hurt the story if Oscar's hurt?
No.
Malik?
Not really. I just think it's unfortunate. I don't think WWE could kind of. I mean, they can. They have a lot of superstars on the roster, but another injury doesn't really sit right with me. So I hope that Oscar's okay for real. For real.
For real, yeah. And CJ, you think it'll hurt the story? She is one half tag champions.
Well, and I think as far as Bailey and Damage Control goes, it doesn't affect that storyline that much. But obviously, yeah, you're right. They are the women's tag team champions. If they were set to defend that at WrestleMania and it just hasn't been announced yet, then injury, obviously, that goes out the window if it's significant enough. But hopefully, it's nothing major.
All right, moving right along to the beginning of the show. My man came back. It's 1998. I thought he was gonna whip out the guitar, but he didn't. He brought backup. He got the harmonica, somebody on harmonica. He got somebody else on guitar. That little white boy guitar looked like he was having the time of his life. That smile on his face. He was just there like, yes, yes, with the rock. The rock.
Like would be too.
I would be too. I wasn't there and I'm cheesy for him. But the rock serenaded us and we was all waiting for it all week long. I knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time of when the rock concert was gonna come. Malik, you look pumped to talk about this one. So let's start off with you. What?
Yeah, man, just the Rock bringing it back to the early 2000s feel, man, when he was Hollywood Rock going like it's just the progression. Like every week, he's giving us something more and more and more of that persona. You know what I'm saying? At first, I was kind of iffy on it. I didn't know if I was going to get tired of it because it is something that we have seen before. I like certain recycled storylines. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
I didn't know if the Rock would be able to to keep me interested in this and keep me wanting to see it every week. But man, he's crushing it, especially with his promos every week on Instagram and Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. So The Rock is definitely keeping the WWE universe fully immersed in his bloodline story, and I'm here for it. I need it next week to inject it into my veins.
Oh yeah, I love it. Brittany B. Ray, let us know what was your thoughts. The Rock, was he singing to you? A couple of ladies got a shot. I love you too, baby. And he said, I love you too after a shot at a couple of beers. I don't know if that was good or after a shot at a couple of beers, Rock could take me, him, be balled together.
First, let me say The Rock is definitely restoring the feeling. Like I can't remember the last time I literally like felt like a kid watching wrestling like I did back then. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
literally doing an incredible job. And John Moran caught a stray, so that did it for me.
Oh,
Yeah, the John
let me
Morant
get it.
is
Oh,
crazy.
hell yeah. Even the Rock paused like, oh, my bad. You know it
Yeah,
was coming.
yeah.
That was good. Like literally, some people would say, Dwayne, he looked a little rusty. He seemed rusty. If that was the case, the rust has been knocked off tonight. That was probably the moment of the night for me.
And they started off good. They started off hot with The Rock. CJ Carter.
Yeah, I was
You,
gonna make a similar comment to Brittany right there at the end. It didn't even start out that great either, and I thought it was definitely headed down that same road.
Right.
But then once he got to the Mama Rhodes bit and everything else, and he had ironed out those kinks, and it was just smooth sailing from there. And I mean, like the Rock sliding in for the people's elbow in his dress shoes, smooth sailing from there. He has found the heel Rock that he needed to be, and I'm so glad that he's there. This is the the best possible outcome for WrestleMania. Period.
what do you guys think about this new persona of The Rock? It seems like it's evolving every week. Every week. And this week, I think we probably seen the final incarnation of what is being dubbed as the final boss. If you guys, they threw this around. They threw this around, right? They said, the final boss, The Rock. Let's all talk about that for a second. How he's rolling with the punches. We all know they did left turn curve and U turn, whatever you want to call it, and they probably thought he was going to come out and get cheered, but he ended up getting booed. And now he gets cheered on his entrance, get cheered when he does the rock stick, and he got cheered today, but then when he starts talking about Cody, that's when you get booed. So, what do you guys think about the final boss? I love it. I
I
love it.
think that was more so towards Roman, in my opinion.
Yes, elaborate, my friend.
Because even before this whole ordeal with Cody coming in and this that, and the other, we all kind of suspected that the end goal for the bloodline would be for Roman and The Rock to meet in the ring. So, like, if you pay attention to every single little detail, it's almost like a subliminal shot at Roman. So when I'm hearing this final boss, I'm thinking, okay, so somewhere down the line, whether it's SummerSlam or wherever, we get in The Rock versus Roman. So that was pretty much the warning to him. Like, I'm the final boss. You have to get through me before you can really establish yourself as the top dog. So I like it.
Uh-huh.
I disagree. I
Okay.
think it's more from
You
the
go.
because I see it more from the perspective of he's been leaning into his TKO board of directors role.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already said he is their boss. So it's the kind of leaning into him uh being on the board of directors. That's how I read it, as final boss, as in your boss.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Malik.
I kind of see it as both. I don't see why he can't play both sides of it. Why it can't be that he is playing himself to be a final boss and taking that shot at Roman. And I actually do think it's more of a shot at Roman because tonight, Rock is a heel, but it kind of seems like he's still playing to the people. You know what I'm saying? So that he's still
Yep.
towing that. He's still towing that line of, hey, I'm here for you, Roman, but at the same time, these are my people. You know what I'm saying? So he's playing to that. But I do see the TKO thing. I think the TKO thing plays more so along the lines of Seth Rollins saying that he's his boss with I'm gonna take your title away thing. But I'm definitely feeling the final boss.
Have you guys
Mhm.
noticed that he keeps saying, I'm going to make that title disappear?
Mm-hmm.
With the very same words. It's been like 2 weeks. I'll make that title disappear. Just very specifically, I'll make that title disappear. And I was thinking about that, like why he keeps saying that word that way. I'll make that title disappear, you know. But man, he leaned into it. Now, The Rock is monitoring social media, or his people are monitoring social media, right? Because he's attacking Mama Rhodes. I know Sister Rhodes got on social media. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's strumming the chords. People are getting their strings plucked and agitated. What is man? He hit some notes on that song, CJ Carter. You and I want to ask you because you should be against all of this, and you come out here like, yeah, The Rock is good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you should be like, no, fuck your story. You know what I'm saying? Where's my man Cody?
I
I was waiting for Cody to interrupt. It didn't happen.
Oh, why would it? Because he's still a Raw superstar as of right now. I'm sure he
So The
will
Rock could
respond
smash
on
a
Monday.
guitar over his head like Jeff Jarrett.
But no, I think this is the bet. Yeah, this is the best possible version of The Rock, and I hasten to think that there was ever a version where this wasn't the original plan. Like, if it would have just been Roman versus Cody the whole time, then The Rock would have been doing something completely different.
Mhm.
Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, probably because Punk was injured, but he wouldn't be working both nights likely. So the entire landscape of the event has changed just with um, the reaction to uh, Cody Rhodes not facing Roman at WrestleMania. So I think this is an appropriate reaction for The Rock to take in this new character. And that's what I appreciate about uh is the storytelling aspect. I always love it. I
What about
love
that?
good
What about
I
that
love good
weighted belt?
storytelling.
What about
Sorry?
that weighted belt? He's got his own weight belt. It's got the Rock logo on
That's
it,
what I
and he
mean.
and he told Mama Rhodes, "I'm going to take this." Brittany, what? How that made you feel? Like he got real 1985 domestic violence. Like, I'm gonna take this belt. I'm gonna make him bleed. I'm gonna come at your boy. I'm gonna present the belt to you. What are your thoughts on what he
It
said that?
worked. Like literally, like we literally say, can we just bring back a little bit of what we grew up with? And
We getting it.
I wasn't offended. I didn't see an issue. You know, Hollywood Rock, if he doesn't do anything else, he gonna hit Blunt Belt. So I was here for it. Now he would have to meet me outside at the NXT parking lot, but that's just me. But
What? What? Yeah, I
it
heard
worked.
that. I heard that. And Malik, you do you like how it's old rock mixed with new rock on how he's going with the punches, more feedback off of the crowd, and this rock is evolving to this final level, the final boss, the rock, and he'll smack the taste out your mouth and he'll fire you at the same note. You know what I mean? He's calling people's mama out. Like, that is whoa. Like, you want it, Attitude Era. We're getting just a taste of it and maybe a little bit more than what we wanted. What do you feel?
For sure. Like, I think The Rock has been A1 through this whole thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's rolling, like you said, he's rolling with the punches. Like, this wasn't the original plan. But now that we're here, because of the swell of support that Cody got when they was announcing, they're trying to announce the Rock versus Roman match. I think he's playing both sides. And plus, I think The Rock is doing an amazing job at potentially. This is what I thought about earlier. When I listen to The Rock talk, it's kind of like, especially when he referenced Cody slapping him and him smiling about it, it kind of seems like, for instance, on NXT, the Shawn Spears and Ridge Holland storyline, where he's talking to Ridge Holland like, hey, I'm trying to bring something out of you. I'm kind of getting the same vibes from The Rock, like he's talking to Cody like a little brother, like, hey, I'm trying to show you what it takes to become champion. What? So it kind of seems to me like The Rock is still kind of on Cody's side, but he's doing it a different way by trying to manipulate Roman into thinking that he's still with Roman. That's just what I'm getting from how I hear The Rock talk about Cody. Because if you slap me, ain't no smiling.
I like that.
That's just me.
That's right. True. And and you slap me, I'm gonna slap you right there on the spot, and then I ain't gonna cry about it.
Exactly.
I mean? But as a group, and then we're gonna move on from this. Of the whole Rock and it's just taking so many avenues and twists and turns, but it's also leaving so many avenues open, because I feel the way The Rock talks about I'm your boss and this and that, and I think that leaves for like an opening for maybe Triple H to get involved somehow, maybe during night 1 or night 2, because I feel night 1, that's it, it's done. The Cody and Seth gonna lose night 1 because it makes the story that more interesting. That's how I feel, right? And I also feel that also gives an opening for Seth to turn on the man to beat him 3 times. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Right.
Because y'all know Seth. When it comes to Seth likes a moment. So, what bigger moment from Seth is, of course, turning on somebody.
Right. All right. Next up, we finally got a match. Number 1 match of the evening was a WrestleMania 40 tag team qualifying match for the 6-man tag ladder match. LWO and Legado del Fantasma, and the Latino Wars continue. For how many weeks? I could say it. I'm Puerto Rican, so don't get offended. Don't start crying over there. Here come the comments. What does he say?
No, I just didn't know who wanted to kick off. I guess I'll go.
Go ahead.
I thought it was a fantastic match. I definitely thought the LWO deserved to advance in the tournament.
I thought they were gonna win.
Legado. I thought they've had a much more prolific year, or at least a better year than LWO did. Specifically, Angel and Humberto just coming up from NXT. Yeah, like LWO's been putting in the work. And I say it every time they show up on NXT. They are one of the most underrated tag teams in that tournament. And I hope if there's a second chance battle royal, that's how they get in.
What? Yep. I like it. B Ray.
I'll pass. I had an emergency, so I missed that match. So next.
I got you, B. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Let me keep it honest.
Yeah, I thought it was an amazing match. The only thing I have on my notes though is LWO versus Legado Fantasma. Triple H, you're welcome, because that was a Dirt Sheet Radio NXT idea, NXT recap idea. So thank you, you got that from us. But on NXT, I did say that seeing LWO on NXT, they've been one of the best tag teams on there. We were talking about how we wanted to see them showcase more on the main roster. It seemed like they deserved that. So it was a great feeling to see them on SmackDown tonight, actually getting that match and that TV time. It was an amazing match. Triple H, I appreciated that. That's something that I needed in my veins too. So I'm glad I got that on SmackDown.
Now I thought like CJ, I thought LWO should have won because they've been around. Their story has been more predominant. Humberto and Angel Garza just came a part of the story when the split came with Santos Escobar. I also thought, they're gonna have LWO win so they could be in the tournament, a little bit longer. I mean, they, be at WrestleMania because Selena Vega, she has a social media following, but it is what it is. That tells me that Legado del Fantasma ain't gonna win past the second round. That's what I think. Beyond that,
I was surprised that we got it this early though. Like that was the only thing that I thought about was like, well, they did it this early, close to WrestleMania. Like I feel like they could have staggered the bracket, like had them like on the other side of the bracket and do it a couple of weeks later. So I just feel like it was a little bit too early to do it though. That's my only.
Well, they probably just want to like fit. Well, we've been talking about this LWO and the Gallo the Phantasma feud for a couple of weeks now, so they're trying to wrap it up, put a nice little bow on it or whatever. But after that, we got LA Knight.
Sorry, just before we move on, and I hate to cut you off here because I love LA Knight, but am I lost, or how does the bracket work? Because even in the graphics, it's just like 2 teams in 3 brackets, and then each of those 3 teams moves on to face each other to get the spot in the match.
Well, it was LWO versus Legado de Fantasma, and then the winners from there face New Catch Republic versus Pretty Deadly, and then the winners from there they face another group the same on the other side. They're gonna have another group because we're still a couple of weeks away. I think they're gonna have.
Okay, so there's still gonna be more teams involved.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I couldn't figure it out. I was like, how are there that many teams fighting for only one spot? It doesn't make sense.
Because I know it's going to be 3 from Raw, 3 teams from Raw, 2 from SmackDown. That's going to be in the match, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. All right, moving on. LA Knight. He takes over the microphone from the interviewer, says, "Let me cook." And she just walked off to the back. I thought she was going to stick around and hold on to the mic. Like Mean Gene, you couldn't grab his mic. You talk, I'm holding it. I got to get paid. But she's like, "No, I'm getting paid no matter what." So she just walked off behind him. But he said he came out, talking about, of course, AJ Styles. He wanted, AJ wanted to humble him, he says. He challenged AJ Styles to match at WrestleMania, and then here comes AJ Styles with the steel chair in hand. Bam, boom, thank you. And then he's sitting on him with that little part of the chair on him. I accept. Then the referees come, break it up. What do you guys think about that, Brittany Ray?
Kudos to the WWE because that's probably one of the most, next to like the Bloodline and anything like that, that's probably one of the most consistent storylines, which is LA and AJ. And of course, in my intro, you can hear me talking about keeping LA Knight relevant, and I still think they're doing a really good job keeping him, relevant. At least not he may not be in the main title picture, but he's still relevant. So
AJ's a good feud for him
right, right.
because they're like the same but different to
Hmm.
me, in my eye.
I mean, it's definitely giving like old school TNA vibe. So my advice to them when it comes to WrestleMania, just bring it. Like, don't hold back. I'm here for like everything has been hard hitting. The shots, the jabs, even more so tonight. And we got what 19, 20 days left.
28
So
days or something,
28.
20,
Okay.
something like that.
So I'm expecting more like cutthroat jabs from both of them. So I'm here for it.
Hmm.
Tonight for me definitely solidified that I'm 100% here for this match, and they're gonna tear the house down.
Malik,
Yes, sir. I agree with everything that she said. My notes, it said I put that. I feel like every time I hear LA Knight every week, he always shows why he's one of the best talkers in the industry. Especially with us not necessarily hearing much from AJ. It's been
right?
LA Knight doing all the talking. So he's basically kind of carrying the feud. It's just AJ coming along and, hitting them from behind paws and things like that. You know what I'm saying? To kind of show that he's still there. I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was a nice touch from AJ just hitting him with the chair just once. I applaud WWE for not giving us too much in this segment, not letting AJ just totally beat the hell out of him to kind of progress this until WrestleMania to keep the storyline relevant. But I thought it was a dope segment overall.
CJ, you're back with us. All right, we can't hear you. No audio.
Oh,
All right. Well, I like
okay, here we go.
where it's going. What was that?
We good?
You
We
got
can
it?
hear you
We
now.
good?
All
We
right.
good?
Yeah,
All right.
good. Thoughts on
All right.
AJ
Cool.
Styles and LA Knight?
Yeah, I thought it was a great segment. LA Knight, absolutely. There is no one on the roster that has a solid grip on their promo ability as their character as LA Knight does. Like, he is so tuned into who
Yeah,
he is and his persona. It's unreal. Like, and that I think is especially where I agree with comparisons to promos like The Rock and Steve Austin. Like, they knew who they were. They knew who their characters were talking to and what to say, and they knew exactly what to do to get the reaction they needed. And he has the WWE universe in the palm of his hands. He is that good.
right.
And AJ Styles, we all know what AJ Styles is capable of. His accolades are as long as my arm, and they are setting him up for both of these
What?
guys to be credible.
All right. Your connection is spotty right there, but we understood the gist of it. Right after that, Nick Aldis in the office. LP Logan Paul comes out, your United States champion. He comes out. He's asking, "Hey, where's the fine, motherfucker? Where's the fine? This guy interrupted me. Where's the punishment? Like a little bit. Where's the punishment? Like little, where's the punishment for Randy Orton? What are you talking about? Why don't you go ask Randy Orton to apologize yourself in the ring?" And he was like, "Oh, all right." After that, I put a little asterisk right there. Paul Heyman got scared by Solo Sequoia, or he got scared by the backstage reporter. That was funny. But then,
Oh, I died laughing there.
Yeah, I
yeah,
love that
So
spot.
funny.
They do that all the time. I love when they
but
do
That was
that.
funny.
Jimmy took over out of nowhere, right? Jimmy, I get those guys confused. Jimmy takes over out of nowhere, and man, this promo, if we had a segment of promo of the night, this would be it, because this would have to be one of his most convincing, heartfelt, from the gut promo I ever heard Jimmy say. In this whole thing, in this whole thing. He was hyped. He was made eye contact, facial expressions. It was all good. Malik,
Yes, sir.
what are your thoughts on that little backstage interaction? Let's combine them together here. Nick Aldis, Logan Paul, and then into the Jimmy Uso calling out Uso versus Uso, brother versus brother.
Yeah.
That's their match they wanted,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
they had it.
Yep. Finally, that they're getting that. The Logan Paul and Nick Aldis, it was cool. I like Logan Paul playing like the punk, the annoying guy, and it's funny watching him think that he has more power than he actually does in the WWE and try to enforce that power over Nick Aldis. So I kind of like that little beef that they got in between each other right now. But as far as the Jimmy promo, I popped for it. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
hold you. I loved it. Just that, and usually these past few couple of months, Jimmy has been the jokester. He's playing around a lot. There was no playing around this promo. Was looking straight into the camera, telling Jey
Right.
Uso, "Hey man, I'm basically I'm going to little boy you. Like you've been my little brother. I've treated you like the little brother. Now enough is enough. It's time to get down to business. You want a match with me? Cool. Only thing was I was expecting him to get a phone call when he said yeet. You know you're not supposed to do that, Jimmy. It's no
I
yeet
thought he
around
was
here.
gonna say
No
I
yeet.
thought he was gonna say no yeet.
Yeah, it's
And-
no yeet around here. But I thought it was acceptable just because of the energy that he brought. It wasn't like a playful yeet. It was like, nah, we here now.
Right.
So
Right.
yeet, let's get it. So I thought it
I
was
knew that.
acceptable. Yep, for sure. But it was dope.
But-
Jimmy, keep doing that. I love that.
Everything was good. That one little piece, if I have to critique about something, that one little piece where he like I raised you or whatever. Boy, you twins. You like 2 minutes older.
But I don't know if there's any basketball fans in here, but I did peep this when he called Jimmy his little brother. There's this little thing they do in the NBA where they go like this and they do too
Yeah.
small. I thought that
Yeah.
was dope by Jimmy. I
That
caught
was
that.
a
I like
good
that
eye.
little
That was a good
subtlety.
eye.
That was dope. I like that from him.
CJ Carter, let us know. Give us your feedback.
I have to drop this little fact that I found out earlier today, actually, and I can't even shout out the source, but the fact that every 15 years consistently at WrestleMania we've got brother versus brother,
Really?
because Brett and Owen was at 10, Matt and Jeff was at 25, and now Jay and Jimmy is at 40.
This is probably going to be the best sibling rivalry match in WrestleMania history. I
I
think so. I think so. B Ray, what are your thoughts on that? We'll get back to you. I'm sorry, CJ.
So, for those who are tuning in live, fun fact about me, I am a twin. I have a twin sister. So, I'm here for it. Literally, twin versus twin. I said this literally reminds me of me and my twin sister, where Jimmy is what Jimmy is 2 minutes older than Jay. My sister is 1 minute older than me, and they take that and they run with it. Literally, no matter what, they run with it. I'm here for it. I love it. I love a twin rivalry. And they're literally, who knows you better than your twin? Like somebody you shared the womb with. So they're literally getting ready to bring the best out of each other. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. They need a couple more face-offs. Hit it where it hurts. Like go deep. Like go, like you remember back before it was the which twin are you? You know, which twin are you? I think that was Jimmy, right? Or was that Jay?
I can't remember, but
can't
I know
remember,
what
but
you're talking about.
go all the way back there. You know, like it's something about the oldest twin, you know, being held to a different standard compared to the younger twin. So I want to see more like literally hit it where it hurt. I'm here for it. I love it. As a twin, I love it.
CJ, your finishing thoughts on that one. I know she was a
Yeah.
twin, so I had to get her thoughts on that one.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. This is the best possible promo from Jey Uso. Like he is matching the intensity and driving it up a notch. Like he is taking this so seriously, and this is his direction going forward. Because if WrestleMania goes as I think it is, then Roman is going to lose the title to Cody Rhodes. If the bloodline
I hope not.
I don't know if the bloodline will continue on in the same form that it's in right now. I think it's largely going to be driven by The Rock, Roman, and maybe Solo. But I see Jimmy being able to kind of shift his career if he decides to either stay on SmackDown or jump over to Raw, continue feuding with Jay. But we'll see what happens. But I'm very excited for this match.
Yeah. Uh, Following up after that, the second match of the evening, Grayson Waller versus Randy Orton with LP ringside. This was a pretty good match. I was surprised that we got Randy Orton at spot number 2 of the night. So they're starting off with Banger, and we got a little bit of The Rock, LWO, League of Dagmo, the Phantasma, then LA Knight, and then Jimmy, and then Randy Orton, and keep it at a steady flow. It was good. It went outside early, like went outside real early, guys. Orton goes face first into the announce table, into the Randy moves Waller, hits Theory. There's a lot of interference from Theory. I thought it was a great match. Theory gets hit with the RKO. Then Waller comes in. Then it's just some a whole lot of stuff was happening in the end. Theory attacks Logan Paul. Then Logan Paul starts attacking. Then KO comes in with the save, and I was just like, who else is gonna KO? But I marked for a second, because you know how in the beginning of KO's song kind of sounds like CM Punk. Just for that split second, that opening note, boy, because I know CM Punk is coming the 25th. So I know they've been pushing that little advertisement hard. So when I heard KO, I was like, oh, CM Punk. And then the second and third note came in. I was like, oh no, it's KO, even good. It's good though too. But I was like, but why? But what are your thoughts on that, CJ Carter? Everything that happened in that match? Briefly, your synopsis.
Yeah, I thought it was an incredible match. They had start to finish. It was incredible. The finish in particular was great. Always good to see Kevin Owens. Glad he's getting into the mix. And I don't know if he's going to win at WrestleMania. I think they're still gonna leave the belt on Logan Paul, but we'll see what happens. I I think it's a good character trait uh, for Kevin Owens to be, sticking his nose in Logan Paul's business. He's always entertaining that way.
Well, and we find out afterwards, Nick Aldis come out. You want to know, did you get that apology? Randy Orton's like looking at Kevin, what apology? We find out it's a triple threat match. So real quick, who do you pick, CJ Carter? KO, RKO, or LP?
I'm gonna go with Logan Paul. I think his first WrestleMania as champion is he's gonna walk in and walk out.
That's fair. B Ray, who do you got?
I will never go against the hometown hero hailing from the loose, so I'm going with Randy Orton.
Malik.
I'm gonna have to go with Logan Paul here.
Logan Paul.
I just think it's best to keep the U.S. Championship on him. You got SummerSlam in his hometown. I feel like you should just keep the belt on him, honestly.
I would like to say Randy Orton, one more run, but I think he's a little bit above that title. So they might let Logan Paul retain.
I got a quick theory though.
Let's see.
I kind of feel like I didn't fully expect KO to be added to this match at all. I don't know if anybody else was surprised by that.
I was surprised that he came out to help Randy.
I kind of feel like they put KO in a match to help Randy. I honestly do feel like Randy's not healthy at this point. There wasn't a lot of bumps in this match. It seems like they're being really, really careful with him.
A lot of
It was
bells
a,
and whistles.
it was the spot where I kind of knew something was happening because when KO came to help him, Randy almost RKO'd him. And even KO was like, "Hey man, relax. Like I'm here to help you." So I wasn't surprised to see Nick Aldis come out, but I didn't know he was going to make it a triple threat match. But I feel like they're putting KO in the match to kind of help carry Randy through the match because I honestly believe that his back isn't to work.
No,
Now,
well, and I see where you're coming from there. I don't know that that's entirely the reason why. I think they were kind of leaning into um the idea of Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania at one point, and then with injuries and everything that's happened, I think he's in there because he was still building a good story with Logan Paul, and they wanted to still find a way to see that through while also getting Randy Orton into the WrestleMania picture. Um, but I
right.
also think there may be some even a little grain of truth in your argument. Like I even said when he qualified for the Elimination Chamber, a guy with his back, why is he going into this match? He doesn't need that big of a risk this close to WrestleMania. So, and in the match, whether it was scripted or otherwise. If it was scripted, by the way, props to him. He's a tremendous actor. But he doesn't negate the fact that it's an unnecessary risk going into a match like that. So yeah, if he needs to be supported through a triple threat match, then maybe he's only got a handful of WrestleManias left in him on a part-time basis.
All right. Next up, we went from there to the third match of the evening: Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. I mean, they could have picked somebody else. I if they were gonna hand somebody a quick loss like that, I would have liked it not to be Dragon Lee. I mean, they a few weeks ago they were bumping him up. He had vignette packages. They were pushing him. And he's got a cool entrance, something that the kids could latch onto and buy mask and all of that. And he get tossed into the shuffle of the whole LWO thing, and then he loses to Santo Escobar. Also, we could have Carlitos come out with the save. Then Carlitos getting his butt kicked by Santos, and also we could have Rey Mysterio come back, which I love Rey Mysterio, but we could have had all of that against I don't know, somebody, I don't know, you know somebody else could have took that loss instead of Dragon Lee. B Ray, did you catch this match?
I did, and I agree with you. I didn't like it. Could have been anybody but him, especially with the hype that's been behind
Right.
Dragon
Drew
Lee.
Gulak. Where was Drew Gulak? He's on the game and shit. What?
Yeah, but yeah, I
To be
mean,
fair, though, Drew Gulak is killing it down in NXT right now.
Heritage Cup, yes sir.
but yeah, it that they could have gave that time to the women's main event, especially with the way he lost. So yeah, I didn't really feel that one.
Malik?
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like what they did to Dragon Lee there. It was really, really short. If anything, you could have just kind of made it a promo. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't like the match. Just felt like really, and I kind of got a beef with WWE on this because this rivalry started so intense in between Santos and Ray, and it kind of seems like it's the hype for it just isn't there anymore. So I'm guessing that's why they're looking to wrap it up next week with them having their match, because I thought that was going to be a WrestleMania match, me personally.
Oh, I think they're going to carry this to WrestleMania.
You think
bro.
so? Okay.
Yeah, that's why I started off saying the Spanish Wars continue, because we've been on this for weeks.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I think.
Well, and to be fair, like the unfortunate timing of Ray's injury this close to WrestleMania didn't help matters.
That's true.
So it did have they did try to keep a little bit of momentum behind it, but it just wasn't the same. Like they needed Ray to keep that alive. But I'm still looking forward to their match next week and whatever they've got cooking up for WrestleMania. But there was a point, I don't know if you guys saw it during Ray's challenge. Why was Angel covering Garza's ears, or Angel covering Escobar's
Oh, because
ears?
you can't listen to that. That is
Yeah.
trash. You don't
I
you
know,
don't,
but I mean,
you don't
like,
listen. That's
still,
old. That's some
that's
1980s
that
heel shit right there, baby. That's
that
like
is
no,
some
no, your
camp
ears are
ass
too good to listen to
bullshit.
that.
That is garbage. It's too tacky. I don't like it, but I'm just grumpy old man set in my ways. Don't mind
No,
me.
I seen that, and the way Santos looked because he was on camera, but deep in his eyes, he had that look like as soon as he get behind the curtain, he was gonna be like, "Man, what the fuck you was doing in my ear?" All right,
The
we're
whole
gonna
thing
move
was
on.
just one big rib.
We're gonna move on real quick. Hey, I grabbed a beer. What? I had one beer, two beers, three beers. I totally tuned out of this one because I said another tag match qualifier for the ladder match for the WrestleMania thing, and they're like New Catch Republic versus Pretty Deadly, and I turned to my girl and I was like, oh, New Catch Republic's gonna win, and that's that for that. I mean, that match could have been a squash match. That went a little bit too long for me. That was a bathroom break and then some. I ate some pizza or something. What do you guys
Oh,
thought on that? If you had any thoughts on that
that
real quick.
that was an incredible match. Sam, you gotta go back and give that the time. Give that match a watch. It was incredible. Like, I talk about how good NXT has done for the tag team division by really getting into good team dynamics, like getting good flow with your partners. Both of these teams work incredibly well, and they work incredibly well together. So putting them in the ring together, they made magic tonight, and
No,
it was
it's not.
absolutely it was incredible. They are
It's not
both
that they.
uh
It's not that they were. The wrestling wasn't good because I was paying attention to the match. It's just that like I knew they were gonna lose.
oh, sure.
When I know for sure, I have an inclination somebody's gonna lose. Like it was the writings on the wall, and it's like, you know, I start spacing out. That's just me. B Ray, what are your thoughts on that? You're
Sorry,
pretty
just
deadly. You have
one final point
sure.
that I was gonna make before moving on. I wouldn't have been surprised if Pretty Deadly did win, based on this match. Like, I had hoped that New Catch Republic was gonna move on, and I'm glad that they did, because I think they're both like a great team. They work well together, but Pretty Deadly has also been putting in the work. So the same argument goes for them going in as opposed to or LWO going in as opposed to Legato. The same argument can be made there too.
I hear you, but you know, some choose to look some way, some choose to look another way. I like Pretty
Oh no,
Deadly. They're very
yeah.
they're very interesting. They're very entertaining. But like going up against New Catch Republic, it was like, come on, like Hulk Hogan going up against a Brooklyn Brawler. Like I knew Hulk Hogan was gonna win. B Ray, what was your thoughts on that one?
So that was one of those, I'm cool with either option. Like I said, Pretty Daily still deserves that spotlight and then hopefully one day get into the title contention. But, solid match. It served its purpose. Hopefully there is a last chance ordeal. If not, but I do still expect to see Pretty Deadly somehow and somewhere involved WrestleMania weekend. But overall, the match was good. I'm a huge fan of New Cash Republic, right? I don't want to make sure I say it wrong.
Right, right.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Huge fan of them. I like them working together. The gear, the vibe, all of it's pretty dope. But yeah, that was pretty much, you could have picked anyone. I would have been fine with it.
CJ Carter, I'm gonna come back to you because B Ray made a point. Hopefully, there's a you know a re what's that, a makeup rematch or whatever. So
Mhm.
I already know if there is, it's gonna be Pretty Deadly versus LWO. Who do you got? I got LWO.
God, see, that's a tough one too, because you can make
What?
the
Come
argument
on,
for both
give
teams,
us a
the
point.
same ones. I don't make me choose. I
That's
think I
what it's
gotta give
looking
it
like.
to
B Ray said,
I.
yeah, there's makeup matches, and we talked about makeup matches. We're like, hopefully
Yeah,
there's a makeup match. LWO could win. Well, there's only one winner in that makeup match. Who I got LWO.
and yeah, I think I have to agree. I think
Yeah.
LWO
See,
deserves the
and that
spotlight more. Not to
and that's
say
why
that Pretty
and that's why
Deadly doesn't deserve it,
no, they
but
do, they
it
do. It's
just
just the aesthetics of the whole thing. The aesthetics of the whole
mhm.
thing. That was my point. All right, guys, you know, I know, you know, we all know what time is it. All right. Who's gonna get added to the jobber of the night? I'm gonna take this one. My boy. I'm gonna take this one first. My boy Grayson Waller. Was it Grayson Waller? He took the, or was it Austin Theory? He took the stunner from KO and he popped up so high. He took the RKO from Randy Orton. Who was it? Waller or was it
That was
Theory?
Theory.
It
It
was
was Theory.
Theory.
It
Yeah.
was Theory. Theory gets the jobber of the night for that one. Not in a bad way. That was French kiss. Everybody was laughing at that one. that was that was a jobber move, not done by technically a jobber, but that was some 1985. The way somebody took that. uh, B Ray, who is your jobber of the night? Your enhancement of the evening?
You took mine. It was definitely Theory.
Well, for
But
the
not
same
even,
reason.
not for the same reason, but he's just pretty much just there with no real direction, no pretty much nothing. And of course, looking at where he was this time last year, he was the United States champion. So now he's just pretty much, of course, and everybody's not supposed to stay at the top the whole time, but he's in that lost in the mix
Right,
time in his career. So yeah, and then of course it didn't help it that he got the stun and RKO. So yeah, that's my job of the night.
right. Malik,
I think.
who's your jobber of the night, Malik?
Go ahead, CJ. Go ahead. You got
Go ahead,
something?
Well,
CJ.
I was just gonna, since you were talking about Theory, I was just gonna, because I forgot this was the jobber of the night. To the point of Theory, like, I don't think he really progressed as much as he should have by this point. Like, he was up against John Cena and beat him. You're trying to position this guy up for greatness, and he just didn't progress as much as I think he probably should have from that point. He never really stood out to me as much as Grayson Waller did, and I know even just the thought of it burns into Sam's very soul, because I picked Grayson Waller over Austin Theory.
It,
But
that's your pick for tonight.
no,
Who's your pick for tonight?
my pick is Logan Paul, because he comes into Nick Aldis's
Let me
office
get into that one. Hold on.
and wants to try and throw his weight around. And he ends up with not one but two challengers for WrestleMania, because if he would have just walked in and said, "Hey, I know who I want to challenge. Also, I want to try and get retribution against Randy Orton." If he would have been a lot more civil with Nick Aldis. I'm sure Nick Aldis would have been a lot more civil with him, but
Fair point.
I
Fair
yeah,
point.
for running his mouth, he gets the consequences, and he's my jobber of the night.
Malik, who's your jobber tonight? I think you have to turn up your audio a little bit.
Me, I do.
Yeah, maybe, or you got to speak up.
Okay.
What?
My
I can
jobber
hear him.
of my
What?
job my
Somebody
jobber
made
of
a comment.
oh, okay. My jobber of the night
Oh, okay.
is not necessarily a superstar. My jobber of the night was whoever decided it wasn't a good idea to have Trick Williams on this show with them being in Memphis and having that whoop that
That
trick.
was a random chant, and
No, they're in Memphis. That's
well,
Memphis' chant.
yeah.
It would have been, you have this amazing feud in between Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes on NXT. It would have been a great opportunity to find some way for Trick to be on this show, to have him interact with that crowd, to shed eyes on what NXT has going on down there, to come up with Stand and Deliver. I just felt like it was a drop ball. The SmackDown was excellent. It felt like playing WWE 2K and your rivalries are set on intense. It felt that way the whole show. But I did notice every time I heard that whoop that Trick chant, I was like, damn. Wonder if Trick Williams is possibly the dark
He's
match
gonna get his moment.
or
He's gonna get his
whatever.
moment.
I agree, but I
Gonna get
think
his
it would have
moment.
been a
And
great
when it comes,
opportunity.
and when he comes, brace for shock, because it's gonna be a whole movement, like the Yes movement. It's gonna be whoop that Trick movement. It's gonna be awesome. All right, it's time for Megastar of the evening. Malik Wilson, take it first. Who's your megastar of the evening?
This is The Rock.
The Rock,
What are we
the
doing?
final boss.
This is the final boss. I'm sorry. Like
What?
I could try to find somebody, but I'm a cheat. And I'm gonna say that it was The Rock, man. You gave him his own 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. No, it wasn't 30 minutes. It was like 20-minute segment to start the show off. And then the rest of it kind of set the tone for what SmackDown was throughout the rest of the night. So I'm gonna just go ahead and give it to The Rock, man, megastar of the night, as he rightly deserves.
B Ray, who is your megastar of the evening?
Mine was decided as soon as I heard the theme, definitely The Rock. Like I was not expecting the old school Hollywood Rock theme, but when that hit, I said, "Oh, we're really back. It's really 2002 again." Like middle school Britney is lit. But yeah, it was The Rock. Like I said, he's literally. I don't know if you all are getting the same feedback that I'm getting, but I have friends who actually used to watch wrestling, and they're literally texting me like, "Yo, how come you tell me The Rock is back? Like, is he getting ready to wrestle? Is he getting ready to do this?" I said, "You gotta wait and see. Just watch. Come back in. Come back in. It's nice. It's been fun. Just watch and you'll see." So yeah, it's definitely The Rock. He's
And that,
restoring the feeling.
that's special that you said that, because I didn't watch wrestling for years. And the night that The Rock sang um Vicky Guerrero, I was flicking channels, and
I still sing that song to myself.
oh yeah, I was flicking channels, and I stopped, and it said, "Oh, tonight after like 10 years, The Rock has come back." I was like, "Oh, I gotta stay and watch this." So, so The Rock brought me back in 2012 or whatever it was. So yeah, I agree with that. CJ Carter, who is your megastar of the evening?
Well, that depends, Sam. Are you going to agree with our two co-hosts?
I actually had somebody else, so
Okay, then I will go.
because
Because
I knew
I
everybody's
also
gonna
have
pick The Rock. That's just a gimme. Come on,
I
I like
also
digging
have
deep. I like digging deep.
I said I cheated.
I
I said I
also
cheated.
I also have someone else. And spoiler, I dropped it earlier. I'm going with Bailey. They are setting up an incredible
You son
story
of a
for
bitch, you took my
WrestleMania,
pick.
and I still, as much as I'm looking forward to this match, I think this should have been the main event for night one. But if they would have stuck with the Roman versus Cody and not tried to divert to Roman versus Rock, and I think this match could have easily been the main event of night one.
Bailey's my pick too. And Bailey was and if you didn't notice when you started bringing that up earlier, I tried to deter you like, we'll talk about that later. and I
I I was stealing your thunder. Okay.
and I was hoping that you kind of forgot. But yeah, Bailey was my pick only because that last battle that she went into is she's fighting the whole control, her creation. You know, it would it was her creation, and it all backfired on her, and Dakota Kai turned her back on her, which we all was waiting for months in advance when we all knew it was coming. But yes, my megastar tonight is Bailey. Exactly. I'm gonna drink to that because CJ and we do not agree on much, but
Oh
Now,
my God.
what do
my
you what do you
my
think
little
of
maple
this?
syrup friend, we agreed
What do
tonight.
you what do you think of this idea that Dakota Kai floated before the match that Bailey didn't fit with Damage Control because of her distrust of the Kabuki Warriors and her jealousy of Io?
I like that little backstage promo they had. It moves the story along further, it gives more depth to the story, and that was one of the reasons that I picked Bailey as my megastar tonight because that little backstage promo kind of amplified Bailey's attitude going into that main event tonight. Right, kind of amped her up, kind of fired her up. Bailey was kicking everybody's ass, right? She
Mhm.
had everybody down at one point. So she went in there fired up because of that promo. We wouldn't probably, in wrestling psychology 101, we wouldn't get that hype version of Bailey coming in kicking everybody's butt if we didn't get that promo 20 minutes before backstage talking about you didn't fit in. Big, I didn't fit in. I created Damage Control. What do you mean? Like I didn't fit in. I was at the top, right? I created Damage Control. So that's what I think about that. But all in all, SmackDown sold out for like the 18th week in a row. I don't know. There keeps moving the chains along, like they say in football. All the seats are filled. Everybody's having fun, fun, fun on the road to WrestleMania. Let everybody know how can they find you on this road to WrestleMania. Be Ray.
Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both are the same. That's B Ray Jones, BeeRayJones.
CJ Carter, let them know how to find you on
I'm
the
on Twitter
weekday.
at CJ Carter 22, and I'm here every Friday night rewinding SmackDown on Dirt Sheet Radio, and I'm on NXT Rewinds every Tuesday night as well. Looking forward to NXT's Stand and Deliver as well as WrestleMania. I believe we are planning a solid live schedule for Dirt Sheet Radio that we'll be announcing soon.
Roger that. You guys are doing a good job over there on the other show, by the way, on NXT. So I just want to let you know about that. All right. For the first evening, let our Dirt Sheet Radio SmackDown Rewind fans know how to find you from Saturday to Thursday. Malik Wilson.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. You see the name here, Matthew Malik Wilson. You will see me on Tuesdays on the NXT recap with my boy CJ. And on Facebook and Instagram, you will catch me on my alter ego as your future favorite sportscaster. Just got into sports betting, so you're going to see some wild posts for the next couple of weeks for sure.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure having you. All right, guys. If you want to follow me, Small Austin 316 is right there. Small Austin 316. It's my birthday in about 45 minutes. So I'm about to go to the bar, have a couple of more of these.
Turn up, turn up.
But you could find Small Austin 316 on the road to WrestleMania. I'll be at WrestleMania. If you see me, take a picture. Let's have a beer. Let's have fun. And you'll see Small Austin 316 from here on out on Dirt Sheet Radio, on the Dirt Sheet Radio SmackDown Rewind.
What?
until after WrestleMania, and then until the hair grows back. So, all right, guys. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for joining us from the Dirt Sheet Radio Smackdown Rewind. Say, let me get a oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do better next week. Come on, guys. All right.
Like, do we push him to the back or what? Because I don't want his hype to die down.
Now you're telling us the next week that they're scum of the earth, and we need you to think.
Everybody gets a moment. Everybody gets their little shine. Everybody